Blessed is anyone who takes no offense at me. I have to say that as a priest, one of the things that I find very enjoyable is coming up with titles for sermons. And typically, I choose something that is an excerpt from the readings that we have for the day. And today, I could not resist. No offense. That is the title of this sermon, and it is one that I think is very appropriate for what Jesus is talking about today. John the Baptist, we read on this Advent Sunday of joy, is in prison. John the Baptist has been criticizing his king. He has pointed out the unrighteousness of the king who does not follow the law of God. And he criticizes him publicly. And as kings are wont to do, he threw him in prison because they didn't like what John had to say. And so John, when he's in prison and hears about Jesus Christ, whom he has baptized a few chapters before, we see a note, perhaps, of frustration, a note of impatience in the question that he asks. This is what he has his own disciples go and say to Jesus. Are you the one who is to come, or are we to wait for another? You'll notice what some of the other readings today are talking about. The letter of James speaks about patience, being patient with God as the farmers are patient. Be patient with one another and do not judge lest ye be judged. Take, for example, all the prophets who came before and see their patience in the midst of their suffering. We're also told that this John the Baptist, this holy man who eats locusts and wild honey, who calls sinners to repentance, and who baptizes people to wash them clean of their sins in the River Jordan. We hear from Jesus a startling claim that he is greater than all others. He is the greatest of those here on earth. But he also says, the least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. I would argue that it is in this question that John asks that we most clearly see just how human he is. All of us experience frustration. Things don't go the way they're supposed to. Appointments get missed. People make mistakes. Things that are supposed to happen fall apart. People will disappoint us, and we will be waiting for something important and have trouble with that time of waiting. John the Baptist has more cause for frustration than many of us have known. He is in prison, and his life brings up the old saying, no good deed goes unpunished. He has his whole life been dedicated to righteousness, been dedicated to